Wow, Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, this is a ballpark where baseball heroes were made.
Huh?
Well, I've been going to games here ever since your daddy was a little boy. I remember seeing Jim Palmer's Hall of Fame seasons, Frank Robinson's MVP year, Boog Powell's monster home run, and even a hotshot third baseman who they said was too slow to play the game.
I wish you'd take me back then.
Well, that may be next to impossible, but I do believe I have a little surprise for you.
What's this? Tickets to the Upper Deck Heroes of Baseball All-Star Game in Toronto. Awesome! Now I get to see you play for the first time, Uncle Brooks.
Let's go to the Sky Dome.
The All-Stars of baseball's past enter a stadium of the future as ESPN presents the Upper Deck Heroes of Baseball All-Star Game. The heroes from the American League playing host to the National. It has been a great weekend here in Toronto. The fan fest all around the stadium. Many of the stars, the heroes, like Gaylord Perry signing autographs. The great Johnny Mize showing up for a meeting of the legends at the Legends of the Game, a collectible store. They did that last night here in Toronto. And there were lots of stars on hand. Dick Williams will be managing today. Boog Powell, who will be playing today. And our own Tommy Hutton with Dick Allen. Tommy will be joining us with a lot of heroes as we go through our ball game. Hello, everybody. Gary Thorne, welcome. ESPN delighted to be a part of the All-Star festivities here in Toronto, joined by, along with Tommy Hutton, Dave Campbell. And Dave, for the players, it's not just the game. It's the opportunity, once again, to see one another.
It really is. And tell the stories. The lies get bigger every year. And it's very special for me, Gary. I just love doing these heroes of the game. I mean, I saw these guys growing up. I played against some of them. Tiger Stadium, I can still remember guys that are playing in this game today, some of the great feats they had there. National League stars. I'm really excited. I love this event. I hope I get to do it every year when I'm with ESPN.
Well, you know, there'll be some All-Stars out there today, and there are two of them who are going to be inducted this season, and Tommy Hutton has an opportunity to talk with them down on the field. Ferguson Jenkins and Gaylord Perry.
All right, thanks, Gary. One of the perks of this business is to be able to stand between a couple of Hall of Famers, and I'll tell you one thing, Gaylord, everybody talks about the grease ball and the Vaseline, but a lot of people forget, except when you're a hitter, about the puff ball. Tell us about it.
That was a great pitch. I could get a lot of powder and stuff in my hand, and Pillsbury put a lot of flour in it, throw it up, big white puff, white ball come out of white puff, strike one. They flinched a little bit, but, you know, they put it out there. They said I was too wet, and then I said I was too dry.
So Hall of Famers do that, but Fergie, did you ever have to resort to that kind of tactic?
Well, in Chicago, early in the season, especially opening day, it was always pretty chilly, 40 degrees or less. So I used a little pine tar on my hand only because it made the ball feel a little better, made basically a better grip, especially on the breaking pitches.
All right, pine tar, puff balls, they're in the Hall of Fame. Who cares? Back to you, Gary.
The Sky Dome, now part of the skyline of Toronto, Canada. The site of the Upper Deck Heroes of Baseball All-Star Game, brought to you by Upper Deck. Nobody does baseball like Upper Deck. And by Subway. Sandwiches and salads made fresh before your eyes. It'll be the Wills and the Williams, the Powells and the Perrys, the National League All-Stars and the American League All-Stars Heroes of Baseball, coming right up on ESPN.
Baseball is a game that I grew up on. And though I love the teams that play today, I like to think of the summers when I was younger and every player seemed a giant in some way.
The Cooperstown Collection. Authentic recreations of the uniforms and memories of summers past.
A part of baseball you can call your own.
The preceding was furnished by Major League Baseball.
It is a beautiful day here in Toronto. The Upper Deck Heroes of Baseball. The National and American League represented here today, ready to play. The Dome is going to be open. And we are delighted to be here, and we thank the people here in Toronto, the Blue Jays in particular, for their welcome. ESPN delighted to be part of this Heroes of Baseball All-Star Game. They're drawing a very fine crowd for this. It'll be a long day. for the people that work here, but for the fans, a day to see heroes of yesterday and today. And for the players of yesterday, the heroes of baseball who will be involved in this game, like Steve Garvey, it's an opportunity to see old friends. I think a lot of people assume because these are former ball players that they had the opportunity to see one another often. That simply is not the case. They don't run into each other very often. They are here today, and they are ready to play. For the National League heroes, their manager, 21 years in that position, Dick Williams. Maury Wills, 6 years he led the National League in stolen bases. He'll be at shortstop representing the Los Angeles Dodgers. Another speedster, 938 stolen bases, over 3,000 hits from the St. Louis Cardinals in left field, Lou Brock. 4 Gold Gloves and a 10-time All-Star from the Dodgers at first base, Steve Garvey. 7 times he batted over 300, representing the Dodgers, the DH, Bill Buckner. A 6-time All-Star and a Hall of Famer from the Chicago Cubs in right field, Billy Williams. Speed and power, a 14-year Major League career from the Giants, Bobby Bonds. 21 years of Major League Baseball, 414 home runs from the Atlanta Braves, Darrell Evans. 13 years he spent behind the plate, a 3-time All-Star for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Manny Sanguillen. 8 Gold Gloves and a record-breaking Major League home run from the Pittsburgh Pirates, second baseman Bill Mazeroski. And on the mound, 284 wins from the Cubs, Ferguson Jenkins.
Checking the defense for the American League. Dick Allen spent many years with many clubs. He'll be in left. Center field, the great Reggie Jackson. And the only man to play 6 decades, Minnie Minoso, is in right. The great Brooks Robinson, 16 Gold Gloves, is at third base. Freddie Patek is the shortstop. Bobby Richardson, now the head baseball coach at Liberty College, is playing at second base. And the Booger, John Wesley Boog Powell, is at first. Jim Sundberg from the Texas Rangers, so many great years catching down there, is behind the plate. Yes, he played with all 8 of those teams on his uniform. He will go into the Hall of Fame in 2 weeks. Gaylord Perry, you see his numbers. Gaylord Perry, the man who threw many, many pitches, most of them legal.
Maury Wells will lead it off, and as he did so many times to the Dodgers, he squares the bunt. Gaylord Perry gets it in for a strike. Here is the great speedster who made his name with the Dodgers. That is Boog Powell. And rather than run through him, he elects to be tagged.
Maury went for the old Harlem Globetrotter trick. He tried to point up in the air to see if Boog would buy it, but Boog wasn't. He put the tag on him. Boog said, I always was known for my leather.
I'll tell you one thing. You talk about guys who have a good time. When they get here and the chance to get out on that field again, it is one long smile from one end of the bench to the other. Gaylord Perry throws the rosin bag.
Why not? He threw everything else up there in his career.
Make it official.
I'm surprised after Maury shortened up on the first pitch, Gaylord didn't throw the next one at his feet.
Center field, Reggie and Patek back. Not quite. Play everything safely here today. So the first hit of our Heroes game goes to the former Cardinal Lou Brock.
Well, Lou had 3,023 of those. Freddie Patek went back. I think he heard Reggie's footsteps. He gave a little ground at the end. He's telling Gaylord he's got second base covered and a ball hit back to him. Lou Brock, 938 stolen bases. Think he'll run? Boog says, I'm not even going to hold him on.
He's got the baseball in the glove, though.
Oh, the old hidden ball trick. Okay.
Brock still wise enough to watch for that. This will be Steve Garvey. Los Angeles Dodgers. You can see Gaylord Perry still get the ball up there. I think one of the best things that happened with the Upper Deck people who took this game after Equitable had run it for so many seasons is to change it from the old-timers to the Heroes game. The guys just love that. Sweet swing, huh? Garvey got the second single. Reggie, Brock will stop at second base. 2 on, 1 down.
Guys think they're playing slow pitch, place the ball softball. Garvey just with a little half swing, loops it over Patek's head. Guard says, hey, nothing to this game.
Gaylord with a couple on, and Bill Buckner. All the things he will be remembered for, what he should be remembered for, are some great 300 seasons, a career .289 average, and all those hits. And he swings a tough bat. Eddie Minoso. Brock will stop. They even hit the cutoff man still, and the bases are loaded in the first inning off Perry. And Booth's not happy about it, talking to his pitcher.
Booth's telling Gaylord to keep the ball down. Remember, a ball hit back to you, big guy. You're going to Sundberg. The old 1-2-3 double play. About time for Gaylord to load one up here.
I wish you wouldn't do that.
Bases loaded, 1 out. And from the Chicago Cubs, this is Billy Williams. .290 lifetime average, and a member of the Hall of Fame, 1987 elected.
We got Boog Mike down at first base. It looked like he told Buckner, quit hitting the ball so hard down this way.
Make him look bad. Billy wants it checked. Howie Burney is the home plate umpire. 4 Canadian umpires working the game: Dick Wills, Jan McLean, and Jim Lutton.
Gaylord's agent one time tried to get a deal with Vaseline, but the president of that company said, no, Vaseline is to smooth babies' bottoms, not baseballs.
He's made a living just running around talking about whether he did or didn't after the pitching days are over. Billy nubs that one foul. Bases loaded here with just 1 out and a 1-2 count on Billy Williams.
Well, it's great to talk about Perry and maybe the illegal pitch. It may have held him back. He finally has gotten into the Hall of Fame, but it may have delayed the vote a few years.
Certainly there was a long discussion about it. I think he just got a punch out right there.
Billy Sands.
What? So there are 2 down. First strikeout for Perry. A longer walk back to the dugout than it used to be.
Well, Bobby Bonds hit a grand slam homer in his first major league game. He's got the sacks loaded right here.
See the lifetime numbers for him. His son, of course, playing now. There's one that gets away. Here comes Brock. Sundberg to the backstop. And it is a 1-0 lead for the National League heroes of the game as Brock crosses with the first run of the game. Talking about Gaylord Perry and going to the Hall of Fame, for all the laughter, it means a lot.
Well, it is a great, exciting time, not just for myself, but for friends that have been pulling for me and knew me when I signed right out of high school. Yeah, July 21st is going to be a very exciting time. I expect probably 300 of my friends and their kids are going to be on hand for the ceremony.
There are never enough tickets for that day. He and Fergie Jenkins both here, both spending a lot of time with one another, and can't wait for that day. 2 on, Bonds up with 2 down. Gaylord Perry ahead on the count here with 2 away. And there's Darrell Evans waiting on deck. Gaylord. Whoa. Reggie. Dick Allen hauled to Reggie to come get it, and he couldn't. And it's off the top of the wall. It'll score a couple of runs and a long double for Bonds and a 3-0 lead. Allen, instead of looking at the ball, looked at his center fielder.
Yeah, I think Dick may have looked up and saw some girders up above him. The Sky Dome, of course, is open today, but Dick did not see that ball very well off the bat. Sometimes the eyes, and yeah, he points to the glasses, they aren't quite what they used to. Reggie made a long run, couldn't quite get there.
So 3 runs in here. These guys are getting their at-bats in the first inning off Gaylord Perry. Darrell Evans up now with the runner at second base and 2 down. Boom! Yes!
Should have won more Gold Gloves. I should have won more Gold Gloves.
He said it last night. Even the ugly get lucky once in a while. He will be kidding about that for a while. 3 runs across, though, for the National League in the first inning. The American League heroes coming up. You've met the National League Upper Deck heroes. Now, let's meet the American League. manager, a member of 6 world champion Yankees, 20 years at the major league level as a skipper, Ralph Houk. Another former Yankee, 12 years in a Yankee uniform and 5 gold gloves at second base, Bobby Richardson. The designated hitter, a .303 lifetime batting average, 5-time All-Star from Toronto, Al Oliver. This guy could swing a bat. 7 times an All-Star, 15 years at the major league level. From the White Sox in left, Dick Allen. Mr. October, 563 lifetime home runs in center field, Reggie Jackson. The big guy from Baltimore at first base, the 1970 league MVP, Boo Powell. Nobody did it better at third base. 23 years there for the Orioles, 16 gold gloves for Brooks Robinson. For 8 seasons, he hit 300 or better. From the Chicago White Sox in right field, Minnie Minoso. Kansas City represented at shortstop, 14-year, 3-time All-Star, Freddie Pontek. Defensively behind the plate, 6 gold gloves, 3 times to the All-Star game for the Texas Rangers, Jim Sundberg. And the 22-year, 2-time Cy Young Award winner will start on the mound from the Giants, Gaylord Perry.
Checking the defense for the National League, Lou Brock will play left field. Bobby Bonds will play center, and right next to him is Billy Williams, who will be in right field. They got that area covered out there. Darrell Evans, Hoover at third base, he used to call himself. Better known for the bat, though, to be quite honest. Maury Wills at shortstop, MVP in the National League 1962. 8 gold gloves, a great home run Gary talked about earlier for Bill Mazeroski, second base. And Billy Buckner will be playing at first. From the family, the Pittsburgh Pirates, Manny Sanguillen doing the catching. And the first Canadian ever elected to the Hall of Fame, of course, going in 2 weeks, Ferguson Jenkins. 270 innings pitched 9 times in his career. The only man to have 3,000 strikeouts and less than 1,000 walks. Well-deserved congratulations to Ferguson.
I'm enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun. There's been a lot of pressure back and forth, different things. You know, life isn't always sweet. There's some high and some lows, and I've suffered both this year, and unfortunately, I think the Hall of Fame will be real sweet for my family and myself.
And Fergie will be working to the former Yankee great second baseman Bobby Richardson. There's Evans. Vacuum cleaner makes the play. 1 out.
And boy, Darrell, way to make me look good. Darrell Evans, the only man to have 40 home runs in both leagues. I think he used to put Hoover on the back of his jacket, maybe a little bit in jest. But he comes up with a good play here, moves to his left. Darrell didn't play a lot on AstroTurf in his career until towards the end. But Bobby Richardson out of there.
Al Oliver chops at one, and that's going to end up in the seats. No play on it. Al Oliver, Pittsburgh, Texas, Montreal, San Francisco, Dodgers, and Toronto during his playing days with the Pirates, part of the Lumber Company lineup back in the 70s that won so many games and lost so many baseballs. Jenkins to him. Bill Mazeroski. It still works at second. If you knock it down, you get the play.
Well, they always said nobody ever got the ball out of his glove faster. That one came out of his glove so fast I barely could see it. Got the ball and threw him out at first base. Oh, boy, Maz.
Never forget that one home run, I'll tell you. Dick Allen now. Ferguson Jenkins, a couple of pitches and a couple of outs. Efficiently working.
Somebody tell these guys there was a buffet inside afterwards. The way they're going at it, they're not taking anything.
Look at Fergie. There are no signs. Off the glove of Maury Wills. That was hit so hard, I'm sure it's a single. Allen is on. Dick Allen last season in the old-timers game delivered a long home run.
Campaneris at second and Powell at first, and a very high, deep drive to left. Billy Williams watches it leave the park, a 3-run home run.
I think the fans don't love that. You think the fans love it? How about these guys? There's Reggie, and it is a foul ball.
Well, let's see. So far, I can tell that Bill Buckner, Dick Allen, and Reggie Jackson have been taking a lot of batting practice.
I've seen Reggie. Of course, he's one of the coaches and broadcasters, special instructor with the Oakland A's now. He's been virtually the last 2 months taking batting practice, coming out early. Buckner. Ooh, look at Fergie. Over to cover the bag. Buckner to Ferguson Jenkins, getting Reggie Jackson. Allen was credited with a hit, just as we thought. There'll be no arguing with the scores in this game. National up 3-0. Our Upper Deck Heroes of Baseball, you can see the beautiful dome, which is open. It is a lovely day here in Toronto. The National leading it by a score of 3-0. Joining us along with Dave Campbell here today is Tommy Hutton. Tommy?
All right, thanks, Gary. With the commissioner, Commissioner, a beautiful day, a great setup, a great cause for this game. Can you think of anything better?
No, it's a wonderful occasion. I'm just glad to be here as a fan, and I'm enjoying seeing some of these guys play, whom I admired so much as a kid. Some of these guys were great heroes.
And I'm sure you, as well as I, appreciate the heroes as opposed to the old-timers.
Well, that's right. They're both. This is a great occasion, a lovely ballpark, and we're blessed to be here.
Thank you. Gary, Dave, back to you guys.
Thank you, Tommy. Vida Blue has come out to do the pitching now. I'll tell you, he can still throw the baseball. And could he ever?
Quite a year, 1971 for Vida Blue. Cy Young Award winner, MVP, 24 wins, 1.82 ERA. Never really approached those numbers again, but he had a terrific career, won over 200 games.
Vida Blue against Manny Sanguillen. The Pittsburgh catcher pops it up. Bobby Richardson. Almost got hurt. He did not see that one.
Let me check the roof here.
That is a single, by the way.
The roof should not be bothering. Guys, it's time to see the optometrist.
A real high sky. Liberty Baptist coach right there, baseball right now, Bobby Richardson. There you see that high sky, and you're inside the dome on the playing surface. You're looking right up through. You do not see the roof, except in the furthest part of the outfield. Mazeroski to left. Did he do it again? Bill Mazeroski. Game 7 one more time.
Close your eyes and pretend maybe it was Ralph Terry pitching Forbes Field. 1960, 7th game of the World Series, bottom of the 9th. That was Dick Allen going back to the fence to check it out instead of Yogi Berra. But, man, the golf game paid off. He hammered that ball.
Off Vida Blue. Maury Wills, second time up. Going to deliver a single, so he's on. These National Leaguers are picking up some hits, 3 this inning off Vida Blue. The home run was easy. It was running the bases.
Full extension. Got to pitch those guys inside, Vida. Think the Sky Dome maybe is a homer dome? Dick Allen thinks so. He's kind of waiting to get back up there.
So Vida Blue treated unkindly. Working to Lou Brock. A 5-0 lead now for the National on Mazeroski's 2-run homer. And Brock slaps one into the gap. Now this could be an inside-the-park home run.
It could have been an inside-the-park home run at one time. This will be maybe a triple.
He won't even get an RBI. Well, he may get an RBI because he's going to keep on going. He wants an inside-the-park home run. Brooks Robinson, they got Murray Wills tagged out.
He's on your team, Brooks.
He ends up at third, though. That's a one-man rundown right there. One-man rundown. And now Orlando Cepeda.
Cha-Cha unanimous MVP back in 1967.
One of the sweet swings of baseball. Still looks mighty good. Falls in for the base hit. Dick Allen's going to have to chase this one down. That will score Lou Brock, and it is a 6-0 lead.
Pinch runner, maybe? Orlando's got the bad knees. He may want a pinch runner for him.
Bill Buckner had a single and scored his first time up. And we will get the pinch runner coming out of there. Orlando Cepeda, and Cesar Cedeno is on to run for him. Dick Allen's getting a workout in left field, and he will gladly watch that one hop over the wall for a ground rule double. So Buckner's 2 for 2 with a single and a double. A little shaking of hands by Orlando Cepeda out there, greeting people he hasn't seen. Dick Williams. There is Buckner. Picked up the double. He's on at second base.
Now, there's one guy I know still thinks he can play. Billy Buck.
Probably right. Fly to Blue working here to Williams. One of the Cubs' longtime favorites, Billy Williams, 1970, 129 RBIs. Boy, if anybody catches this, sign him. Freddie Patek gets a long way up there. Sign him up,
Freddie. Out's tough to come by here.
First pop-up caught today, and Patek gets it. There are 2 down. Couple of base runners on, and Hall of Famer Bob Gibson loosening up.
Jimmy's saying that defense looks a little shaky out there. I may have to crank it up to about 85 instead of just laying it in.
Trouble is he could. Bonds to third. Brooks. Over to John Mayberry, who's playing at first base. And Bobby Bonds is retired. He still has the glove, Dave Campbell.
Always had the great hands. Always played off the line. He gave the hitters the line if they could pull it. But Brooks Robinson believed in taking away the hole between short and third. It still works for him.
The National League piling it up. They've got 6 runs on. 10 hits now, leading midway through the second inning. July 8, 1941, 50 years to the day. The All-Star Game, Brick Stadium, Detroit. Ted Williams steps to the plate to face Claude Passeau, the American League trailing by 1, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th inning. And in dramatic fashion, the splendid Splinter comes through with a game-winning 3-run homer. One of the greatest moments in All-Star history.
Yes, hitting that home run in the All-Star Game in the 9th inning was certainly a big thrill, and I'll never forget the rest of my life.
And so, too, do we remember 50 years later. The biggest applause next to John Mayberry's, because Mayberry played here in Toronto, was for that guy, of course, Reggie Jackson. Many of the fans, most of the fans remember his playing days.
Like you told Mayberry, he said it's going to be a long afternoon if our pitchers can't start keeping the ball down. We're having a little trouble with those fly balls. Wait a minute, Boog was out of the game. How's he back in there hitting now? What's the deal?
There are no rules. He wanted to hit against Bob Gibson.
What a dope.
Said I couldn't do it then. How about now? Not bad. Bonds. Oh, 400-foot fly ball. Boog Powell got himself a double.
I'll tell you, Boog is MVP so far.
I couldn't run. I couldn't throw. I could take you deep once in a while. Good RBI man. I think that if a person went back and checked my at-bats and my RBIs and did the kind of stats that they do today, they'd stack right up there pretty good. I was a good RBI man, and I'm a team person. I think that more than anything else is that I was a winner.
Bob Gibson, how many times did he pick up a K? He got one on Brooks Robinson. This time Minnie Minoso pops it up. Second baseman Bill Mazeroski. 2 down. They are really rolling right along here, the National League pitchers. Gibson. The outside the lines, the autograph game coming up. You will see it right here Wednesday night. Bob Lee for an encore performance of the Emmy award-winning production Outside the Lines, the autograph game. That'll be Wednesday, 9:30 Eastern Time on ESPN. Wade Boggs putting the autograph on the baseball right there.
Uh-oh.
You got to do it, though.
Play the music. The Mad Hungarian has just replaced Bob Gibson.
Nice hair.
Real nice,
I tried
Allie.
that 100 times over there.
I can hardly wait to see what happens when he gets ready to pitch here. You know there's going to be some kind of an act.
Grabowski's as good a show as there are. St. Louis, Kansas City, Atlanta, the Mad Hungarian. Outstanding save record, 21-4, 31 saves for the Cardinals, 74 and 75 those seasons combined.
Attaboy, Al. Where do you think the first pitch is going to be?
For Freddie Patek. A Ryan Dern kind of delivery all the way to the backstop. Patek still got the bat in his hand.
Former teammates in Kansas City, Roboski and Patek. Trust me, folks, Al does not look like that. We'll see him later. Just takes a bow. How come we didn't charge him out? Everybody does in today's game.
Not quite the Clemens affair from the other night, but pretty close. Grabowski still, he throws batting practice still for about anybody who'll let him, tell you the truth. And Patek gets back at him. All right, Freddie. All 5-5 of him drills that one into left field, and he's going to keep on going to second now. He's caught in a rundown. Bill Mazeroski, they've also got a runner at third. Powell looking home. Cepeda, the tag. See you later, Boog.
I thought he got in.
I did too.
If Boog had any wind left, he'd argue.
Ralph Powell comes out to argue the matter. The major. But to no avail. That hasn't changed. It is still a 6-0 lead for the National. We've completed 2 at our Heroes All-Star Baseball game. Upper Deck Heroes of Baseball. They're sponsoring it here in Toronto at the Dome. The baseball company, which has not been here for a long time, but they are doing very well. Thank you. Tommy?
All right. Thank you, Gary. And with me, the Upper Deck Senior Vice President, Don Bodo. And Don, I talked with the commissioner about the fact that the Heroes was brought into it as opposed to Old Timers. Kind of a nice story how that came about.
Real nice story, Tommy. We surveyed a number of the players who just recently retired, and they really couldn't identify with being an old timer. And then I had my son at an Angels game one day, and Michael, his favorite player is Wally Joyner. Wally couldn't play. Lee Stevens was out there. Lee was my son's hero that day, and I watched around the ballpark. Everybody, that was Lee Stevens, their heroes that day. And it just went from there. If you're up for a cup of coffee or you're a Hall of Famer, you're a hero of baseball.
Don, thanks a lot. Now to a couple of my heroes, Dave Campbell, Gary Thorne.
Mark Fidrich comes on to pitch for the American League. Fidrich, that great one-year sensation with the Tigers, 24 complete games, 19-9, led the American League in ERA, and unfortunately for Mark, and maybe more so for baseball, an arm injury short-tailed the career. He was really something. He'll probably talk to the baseball today. We had a chance to sit with Mark and his wife last night at dinner. He has never lost his enthusiasm for baseball or for life.
He was one of the first people out today for the early workout and talking to the press, and this is what made him famous. The baseball was someone that he would, something that he would talk to. He thought it was someone. Boog Powell had a great story last night, said when he first faced Fidrich and saw him talking to the ball, he stepped out, talked to his bat, hit a double, and then told Fidrich as he went to second base, my talk was better than yours.
There's the numbers that year for Fidrich, and again, I mean, this is a guy that loves this game so much. He loves coming back to these Heroes games, and kind of a shame that he didn't get a chance to really have more of a career.
Injuries just took him out. Cesar Cedeno, a 5-time Gold Glove winner and an All-Star, and can still swing a bat on a long foul ball off Fidrich.
All right. Cesar.
Felt pretty good, huh?
20 home runs, 50 stolen bases, 3 years in a row. The 20-50 club. This guy was a terrific player. 550 lifetime steals.
He had a .285 lifetime batting average with Houston, Cincinnati, St. Louis, and L.A. 17 years at the major league level.
Still working in the Astros organization. He is a coach down at Kissimmee, rookie league down there. He says he loves working with the young kids.
Fidrich bouncing that one by. And it's that time of day where we have the stars of yesterday and the stars of today.
Cecil.
There's Harold Baines and Ricky. Cecil way down on the right. They are here for their workout today. They too will collect autographs today. Brooks puts it away. Cesar Cedeno is retired. Both the National and the American League All-Stars working out here at the Dome the day before the All-Star game. Ripken on top. The batting race in the American League. Just having a great season. We want to remind you when the baseball season picks up again, ESPN will have it on Friday night. Our doubleheader will begin with Pittsburgh taking on the Cincinnati Reds, 7:30 Eastern. That'll be followed by the red-hot New York Yankees against the California Angels. That's all coming up Friday night on ESPN. Jim Lonborg is now on, the former Red Sox pitcher.
Gentleman Jim. What a year he had in '67. I came up with Detroit at the end of that year. Between he and Yastrzemski, the Red Sox with that miracle finish going from 9th to 1st.
Randy Hundley pops that one up. John Wathan.
Duke.
Oh, he did it, and he didn't trip at his mask.
Attaboy, Duke. John really excited. This is the first Heroes game he's played in. He was really fired up last night. He said it's fun to get back. Of course, lost his job with the Kansas City Royals as their manager, and I think once you've been in exile for around a month or so, it's nice to get back and have some fun. You got it, John.
Started the season, of course, as manager. Kansas City Royals. One of the many to be replaced as that story goes on. And now Darrell Evans. If you are trying to keep score of this game, forget it. Oh, Raleigh's on now. Jim got his job done.
Yeah, Jim Lonborg threw one pitch. Raleigh played in the golf tournament yesterday. He had a red eye to get here for this one.
And he is going to face Darrell Evans, who's batted in a couple of spots in the lineup. Wants the home run. Trying to add to Mazeroski, who got one. Boy, we've seen some shots here. These guys swinging a bat.
Pride.
Yeah. That's why they work out before they get to this game for a month or so. And Evans is on. That is the 11th hit picked up by the National. We told you about the home run by Bill Mazeroski. He's with Tommy Hutton.
All right, Gary, thanks. Maz, every 30 years or so, you hit a dramatic home run.
Yeah, that seems like the lucky year, but that's a pretty long dry spell in between.
A great day and a beautiful setting, isn't it?
It is a great setting. This is a great ballpark. Boy, I sure love to play a career in this ballpark.
All right, some good heroes. Back to you guys.
And Gibson's taking his turn at bat, which is not unusual for Bob Gibson.
Last man in Major League Baseball to win 20 in a year and hit 300 in 1970. He's going to make sure he gets his hats.
Fighting off Raleigh fingers here with some souvenirs. And he's going to put one right in the gap. Now he's unhappy that he did that because he's got to keep on running. He will score one run, pick up the RBI, and kind of
streaks into second.
Yes.
Stand-up double.
Evans scoring. As the National League continues to tear it up here. So Gibson on at second base. That's the 12th hit for the National League. They've got a 7-0 lead now. And Brock down the left field line. Nobody even gives chase.
Well, you got to remember that most of the National Leaguers playing today were playing during that string when the National League won 19 out of 20. They aren't used to losing to the American League. Grabowski telling Rob Dibble, you think you're mean, pal? You don't know what mean is.
Brock got that in the alleyway, just out of the reach of Allen. Chased down by Reggie Jackson. Bob Gibson is coming around third to score on the double by Brock. And it is an 8-0 lead. They are really whacking the baseball around. Orlando Cepeda. Raleigh's going, hey, I'm not used to this. Boy, he still cuts at it, doesn't he? Nobody wants to chase this down. Ron LaFleur in right field right there. Took a long time watching it. Reggie's having to cover center, right, and left. It is a 9-0 game with the National League pounding out 14 hits.
I think Reggie's going to need an oxygen mask.
Tommy's got Gibby with him.
I'll tell you what, Gibby, you took probably as a pitcher more pride in your hitting than most. Now that you can breathe a little bit after scoring, how'd you hit that ball so hard?
Well, you know, he was pitching me inside, and I pulled a couple down the line. Then he tried to go away with me, and I just went with the ball.
Do pitchers today take as much pride in hitting than you did?
Oh, I don't know whether they do or they don't. You know, back in the days that we played, you pitch 8 and 9 innings, and if you could hit, there's a pretty good chance that you could be there when the game was over. But these days, you only pitch 6 innings, so I don't think they really care that much about hitting.
All right, now you have to go pitch. Go get them.
I'm through.
Raleigh treated on kindly. 9 runs on 14 hits and a 9-0 National League hero lead. In Toronto this year, Major League Baseball is debuting a new tradition, the All-Star Fan Fest, a tribute to North America's pastime. There are demonstrations and exhibits from numerous baseball-allied companies, and today's Upper Deck Heroes of Baseball are on hand, signing free autographs. Guys like Gaylord Perry, there's a tradition worth keeping. And modern technology gives fans of all ages a chance to test their hitting skills against a video pitcher.
So looking for a fastball or curveball? Fastball down the pipe. That's like, can I quote you on that? Very good. Excellent.
Or how about comparing your velocity with a Major League fastball? Or collecting some free souvenirs and collectibles. And a chance to reminisce about baseball's past with fans and players. And see some of the great craftsmen of the game, like this Rawlings bat maker. Grabowski still on the mound here in our Heroes All-Star game. It's got to be hot under that mess. And Jim Sundberg is going to pick up a base hit. Cedeno is in left field to get it back in. One of the heroes of today, Tommy Hutton.
Yeah, Gary, one of the great aspects of this game is some of the current All-Stars get to see these guys play. Is it fun for you to watch some of these legends play?
Oh, yeah, that's why I got dressed quick and came out here. I want to see these guys play, and it just brings back a lot of good memories.
All right, we're all baseball fans, and up to you guys.
They are here today. Gaylord Perry wanted to get a swat at it, so he's going to bat against Hrabowski here. 4 hits for the American League, and Brooks. No problem.
Darrell Evans is playing third base with a first baseman's glove. I wondered why he was playing defense so well over there.
Nice mitt.
Darrell, it's illegal.
Hrabowski's going to finish up his day now, and Gary Nolan will come on to do the pitching. Hell, you couldn't look worse.
I'll tell you, Allie puts on a show. The broadcaster now for the St. Louis Cardinals, and trust me, folks, he looks a lot better than that.
Hopefully we'll have a chance to see him looking a little bit better than that. Nolan will take a couple of warm-up tosses. While he does that, we'll remind you that coming up next at 10:30 Eastern, our ESPN All-Star Monday lineup continues with Major League Baseball Magazine. That will be followed at 11 by Baseball Tonight and the All-Star Reporters Roundtable. A look at the first half and a look ahead to the second. LaFleur against Gary Nolan.
Nolan's a guy like Fidrich. He had more good years than Mark did, but again, injuries really short-circuited his career.
And still drill it into the corner. Cedeno back to get it. And that'll end up as a ground rule double. We'll get down to second base. A 9-0 lead for the National. And we're going to play the 3 innings here, so the Americans got to come in a hurry.
Ron LaFleur, Detroit Tigers, Montreal Expos, Chicago White Sox, among the clubs he played for. Stole close to 100 bases a couple of times in his career. Don't think he quite has the speed he once did.
Don Mayberry getting the big hand. The former Toronto Blue Jay, Manny Sanguillen, has moved out into right field. He can play it there and behind the plate. It'll go as a sacrifice fly as the run scores. So the American League's on the board. 9-1. Sanguillen, the tip of the cap, just because he was able to throw the baseball back in. The fans applauded down in the right field corner. 9-1 game, 2 down here. We're going to get the Babe Ruth point by John Wathan. John's going to be back in the game again. As a manager or coach somewhere, I do believe, especially with expansion coming around. Not hear a bad word from the players about John Wathen when he was replaced. John Mayberry got the big hand. Let's see what he thinks about it. Tommy?
John, one of the great aspects of this game is that some of your relatives can see you play for the first time. You have a 7-year-old son. He never saw you play.
That's right. Never seen me playing. Like, he doesn't believe I play baseball, but everybody comes up asking for autographs and got a few bubblegum cards, so it's a big thrill for him and me.
John Wathen, a couple of long foul balls. He had the advantage of getting some batting practice in, of course, this season. And John can still swing. Good bat.
Nice of those guys to hit those foul balls while we're doing interviews. We tell them to foul balls off on purpose.
We wanted to have a home run on the air. John Wathen, a dinger!
Thank you!
Two home runs in this game. Bill Mazeroski got one, and now John Wathen for the American League. Boy, he hit some solid line drives foul, and then finally held one in, and it's 9-3 National.
Not taking anything away from the Duke or Mazeroski, but I think I know what they mean. The ball travels a little better here at the Sky Dome when the roof is open. These balls look like they hit a couple of jet streams.
That's exactly what you have here at Jet Streams. You open that roof, the air goes right up and out. And Oliver, and that's going to do it. The Bonds in center. And our Upper Deck Heroes of Baseball All-Star Game here in Toronto gets the standing ovation from a lot of fans on hand for this one. The National League comes away with a 9-3 win.